What it do, what it do, what it do, Gringo Gang, man. It's your boy Emerald Amigo. I'm back with another reaction video, man. Look, I was I was sitting up and I was like, man, I gotta give the people another video, bro. I ain't gave y'all a video in like 2 days, 3 days, man. I'm like, I gotta give the people another video. So I'm looking through the algorithm and I'm like, what can I talk about? What what is a good video idea that I could give y'all? And then it hit me. With I mean the refresh of one page, it hit me. I hadn't discussed because I saw this post already. I hadn't discussed what Mos Def said about Drake. Now, watching this video that I just looked up, I realized that I didn't see enough context in what Mos Def said. So this video provided a little more context depending on if y'all have heard about this, depending on what clip that you've heard, you may not have gotten this full context that's going to be included in this video. And I was like, I gotta react to this because it changed my original opinion on this subject matter. So man, I gotta react to this. Everybody knows that Mos Def, now known as Yasin Bey, everybody knows that he's a legend in the hip hop industry, a legendary rapper, probably from like the 90s, maybe late 80s, 90s, but that time period, everybody know Mos Def is a killer when it comes to hip hop, and he's earned his stripes. So his opinion would be highly respected in judging a person like Drake, who is a new veteran, but he is a newcomer compared to Mos Def. So with Mos Def already earning his stripes, it would be expected to be kind of heavy as to what how people weighed his opinion on him. His opinion could probably truly, people like him, their opinion can truly affect how people view a new artist because they are already respected and known as legends. So what they say about you as a newer artist is very important in the overall landscape of how it's going to affect diehard music fans and things like that. So it's not just an irrelevant opinion. Even though Drake is on top and he been winning for a while, this particular artist's opinion of Drake is not necessarily as irrelevant as some new dude who you just heard of yesterday. It'll be a little more impactful. So I gotta react to this. I gotta let y'all know what I think about what's being said in this clip. So man, I talked long enough. Let's see what it's about, man.
Exclusive with the cutting room floor that went live on Wednesday, January 10th. Like, is Drake hip hop? Why are you doing this to me?
Drake is pop to me. In the sense, like, if I was in Target in Houston and I heard a Drake song, it feels like a lot of his music is compatible with shopping.
Commercial music.
Or it's music, shopping with an edge.
Okay, so we got to pause right there. I accidentally paused the recording, so I hope it went seamlessly on to this part. But anyway, that's irrelevant. So he just said that Drake's music is elevator music. It's everybody, it relates to the whole world. It's just general entertainment, good for any public environment type music. And we all know that that's not what hip hop is based on. Hip hop is based on you giving your personal narrative about what life has been like to you as a part of the culture. So you basically reflecting your experience in the urban culture through hip hop. That's what hip hop was founded on, what it's made for us to reflect how we feel about things going on in our world, in the world. Now, by saying Drake leans more to the commercial side, what that would tell me is that I have a more accurate opinion in this particular topic because I've been a diehard Drake fan since Drake got started, since he came out. So I know Drake a lot more in and out than a person like Mos Def probably would. And Drake has a strategy to his music, which is he releases gritty hip hop personal tracks in the form of his albums, his one-off releases, but he always runs the red carpet on 2 or 3 mainstream singles for each project, which is just the strategy of making sure you stay relevant. So he drops 2 or 3 mainstream hits with every album he's gonna drop, and the rest of the album is his personal insight of what his life is like and him reflecting on that in every album that he drops. But if you get all of your music from the radio, commercials, TV shows, everything that's pushed out in the mainstream that you're not looking up personally yourself, like for me, for example, anything Drake dropped, I'm going and listening to it. Mos Def might just hear what is playing in the car when he hops in the car, or he might just hear the top song that everybody's talking about. But that's not going to be all of Drake's best hip hop shit. That's not going to be the hip hop side of Drake. That's going to be the commercial popularity side of Drake, which is why we kind of mess up as human beings when we don't necessarily connect with an artist. We label them, we put them in a box based off of the 2 or 3 most popular songs that we know about them. So we really can't make a fair opinion of them unless we fuck with them for real, for real. So that's definitely what's going on right here. And if you listen to Drake in depth more than what you just see music videos to, what you just see here, what you just hear on the radio or hear in the club, if you listen deeper than that, you know how Drake get down. Drake is hip hop 100%. His lyricism is unmatched. Pen is crazy. He ain't Drake and signed to Lil Wayne for no reason. The man's pen is vicious. It's ridiculous. He can tell a story and incorporate punchlines in the midst of telling the story like nobody I've ever heard. It's the craziest, most skilled literature I've ever heard written by a music artist. Like, and it's more organized than Lil Wayne's. Like, Lil Wayne's is a bunch of random thoughts that pertain to the same subject, but they don't go in sequence of each other. Drake tells point A, point B, point C, point D story using metaphors while telling the story. That's fucking top 10, top tier level skill for anybody who knows what it takes to make music. That's top tier. Unheard of for a lot of people. It's not many people that can do that. So I'm passionate about that because I salute Drake. I've been studying him for a long time. But all in all, it has nothing to do with whether I rock with the music or not. The fact that I spent the time to listen to everything Drake put out and weigh it up on how many songs are meaningful, how many songs are just filler songs. It's very rare. Out of like 12, it'll be probably like 3 hits that you'll hear on the radio. A 12-song album, 3 hits you hear on the radio. You'll have maybe 2 tracks that feel like filler tracks because they're so abstract and it may not be the sound you're looking for. You might not even want to hear it, and the rest of it is all autobiographical hip hop shit. So this is just a matter of him not doing enough homework. But let's keep it going. But it's very important that I explain that to y'all, but let's keep it going.
In certain instances.
Fair. I like Drake's music, but I understand exactly what you're saying.
Of course, I mean, I get it.
And don't get me wrong, I do understand exactly what you're saying, but I just explain how I understand exactly what he's saying. Like, exactly what he's saying is the shit that he hear sounds not hip hop. But he have to actually listen to everything that Drake offers to know that he is hip hop. In a nutshell.
Commercial, entertaining, fun, good,
it's
formulaic music.
It's likable.
Likable music, yeah.
It's likable.
But is it? I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, and when they start giggling, because they making statements like they got you figured out, like your music's likable, and then in his mind right now, while he's doing all the giggling and shit, he's recounting all of the music that he classifies as hip hop and how it's all so serious and cutthroat, and your average like family person or mom or grandma, they don't like it. It's not likable music. So that's what's going through his head right there. And he's like, oh, here goes Goody Two Shoes Drake making his little songs that you can play at a football game, and songs that you can play in the elevator at the mall, at the Denny's. He's not taking Drake as serious as he would take one of the artists like himself. But what people don't understand is that's why Drake's plateau is 30 times higher than any of theirs, because when it comes to the industry, when it comes to, business, you got to make a decision. You're going to go with your heart, stick with your heart. Those who like me, those who don't. And, just settle for the results of keeping it real, keeping it a buck. Or you going to bend a little bit, adapt a little bit to include everybody, and like, hey, I may not want to record this song. I may not want to make this song. I think it's corny. It's not cool enough or whatever, but I know that I'm capable of making this song, and it's capable of affecting a way grander scale of people than the songs that I just usually like to make. So for the sake of my career and expanding my reach and expanding the amount of people who get interested in me, I'm gonna make sure that I give everybody a little bit of some of what they want. But then the main hardcore sticking to the code artists, they don't want to bend or break to make those offerings to other crowds because they feel like it's not authentic, like it goes against who they are. When really all it's doing is it's expanding your skills, expanding your network capability, opening more doors and opportunities up for you. But most people feel like if it's not about a certain subject or doesn't reflect a certain struggle or a certain feeling, or it doesn't appeal to a certain people, then it's not real. It's corny, or you know what I mean? It's not true. When really all it is a display of your skill level. Like, it means that you didn't put a cap or a limit on yourself. You said, not only can I rap about my struggle, where I'm from, all the stuff that my people can relate to, but I can also make something that these people who I don't even kick it with can rock to. I can make something for them too. And that's what Drake has been able to do that a lot of artists can't do. That's why a lot of artists don't get as far and get as big as a person like Drake. That's why I admire Drake so much, because I want to reach those plateaus. I don't want to just be your neighborhood hero artist. I want to be a global sensation. And you have to do the type of things that Drake does rather than the type of things that Mos Def does, and unlimit yourself so that you can become the mega star that you want to be. And it's not about just being praised or being held or, you know, being worshiped. It's about you feeling like the entire world actually is considering appreciating your art and giving you credit for the effort you put in. It's all about us wanting appreciation for the effort we put in to the things that we do. Everybody wants that. It don't matter if it's the appreciation shown through your paycheck, or if it's shown through fans, or if it's shown through promotions. Everybody want that. Everybody want a little credit for what they contribute to the world. Some of us are gonna get a little bit of credit. Some of us gonna get Drake credit. It just depends on who all you reach, who all you connect with, who all you affect.
Alone. We're gonna move on.
So many products. Collapses. What happens when the columns start buckling? Are we not in some early stage of that at this present hour? Are we seeing like the collapse of the empire? Buying.
And that's the part, that end part, that was the context, you know, that part. And, you know, the previous part I just reacted to, that was the context I needed, because I only saw the beginning where he said Drake's music was like store music, mall music, and it stopped there. Now, when him saying that he doesn't know if Drake is about to fall off or not, are we about to see Drake's fall off? What are they going to say when it stopped working and all that stuff? I'm not really rocking with those comments like that, because it's not like Drake is on his first 2 or 3 hits and you can still sum it up to luck. Drake has dropped about 8 #1 albums in a row. He been at the top. He been on billboards for like a decade straight. He's had a single on the billboards on the top 100 for a decade straight. That is fucking insane. That's crazy. This shit is not no luck. It ain't nothing you can take from him. They got him in a discussion, even though it's not a discussion like LeBron versus Michael Jordan. That's not a discussion. Drake versus Michael Jackson. It's not a discussion. I don't know why our age of people think that you can compare those type of entities to each other. It's not a discussion, because what made the previous generation, the Michael Jordans and the Michael Jacksons, what made them great was them doing the impossible. They were doing things that looked impossible, things that seemed like they were impossible. Who has completely captured the mechanics of dancing like Michael Jackson? Nobody has duplicated that. Michael Jackson, Chris Brown has come close, but he still is not as sharp, as robotic as Michael Jackson. When Michael Jackson makes a move, that shit looks like it's a fucking equation programmed in this nigga to make them moves. It's that accurate. Like, nobody's done that before. Michael Jordan, I ain't seen one nigga float in the air for like 10 seconds on every jump since Michael Jordan. I ain't seen one motherfucker do it. Everybody can jump as high, jump over cars all they want to. They can dunk on as many people as they want to. Who the fuck is in the air smoking cigars while they floating in the air off a jump like Michael Jordan? Those are 2 different lanes we talking about. Drake, the LeBrons, they've been 10 times more dominant. They run their crafts for way longer and have put up more stats and shit, and that's great. But that's a different category of greatness. The greatest of all time is some shit that you ain't seen before and some shit that you might not ever see again. That's what makes the shit so amazing. It's going to be plenty of motherfuckers who can come in and do what LeBron did. It's going to be plenty of motherfuckers who can come in and do what Drake's doing. It's not going to be a lot of people who can come in and move like Michael Jackson. It's not going to be a lot of people who can come in and float like Michael Jordan. It's just differences to this shit. But everybody want to be included nowadays and feel like they on the same level is weird. And for Mos Def to say, oh, is Drake about to fall off? What they gonna say about him when he fall off? It don't matter if he fall off at this point. He's proven all that you can prove in the art of music. There's nothing else for him to prove to niggas when it comes to music. Drake don't gotta do shit else. He can fall off right now and he's still gonna be top 5. Top 5 musicians. Like, somebody gonna put him in top 5, period. It don't matter how many Bachs and Beethovens and fucking motherfucking what's his name, Nat King Cole's and Elvis's and the shit that Drake has done. He qualifies in like top musicians of all time. He has shattered all types of feats. So no matter if he fall off today or if he fell off shit 5 years ago, he been on like a 15-year run. Even if he fell off like 5 years ago, Drake and most of the artists you know from New York can't even compete. Most of the artists you know from California can't even compete. Drake is at a plateau that only rock stars get to. Mos Def ain't never get there. You know what I'm saying? The Fugees ain't never get there. Fucking Lil Wayne barely got there. Barely. But, man, it sounds like hating when you bring up points like that. When you get to those points, it sounds like hating a little bit because it's still his time and your time kind of like, you know, went away. Sometimes, man, you got to know what's appropriate to criticize and what's not, or you got to make sure that you do a little bit more extensive research because his audience is too large for enough people to agree with you that he's not hip hop, because it's too many people who've done their homework or too many fans that are going to disagree with what you're saying. And even in this video, they show NLE Chopper disagreeing with Mos Def and like, man, y'all always talking. As a matter of fact, let's show that real quick. And what he had to say is, the hate on this man so much is ridiculous. Dude catalog more than respectable. He liked the look, he liked the Kool-Aid man, different flavors for each day of the month. He don't know what he talking about. Most people gonna feel like that because most people have become Drake fans over the years. Something has pulled him in. He's got enough hits for at least one of those hits to pull people in to become a fan of him. And then when they start discovering the rest of his music, everything Mos Def is saying is nullified. That shit, it don't apply. Not to Drake. Drake different. Like, he feels in all of the categories that you need to be a massive hip hop artist or musician, period. He has accomplished every single feat, every single attribute that it takes. He's got all the infinity stones. That nigga got all the infinity stones. And I don't give a fuck who think I'm dick riding or who think it sound like I'm doing any jocking or anything. I'm spitting facts. All I do is tell the truth. I'm just saying what it is. Even if I hated Drake, the nigga has all the infinity stones. He won. So you saying this about him, saying that he ain't really hip hop when he been running hip hop for the last 15 years, it's not a good look for you. And it kind of take down your credibility a little bit, which is why we got to be careful what we commenting on and what we saying in public. We can have those thoughts and opinions that may not be accurate. We can have those types of thoughts and opinions within our home, just like white people saying N-word. We can have those conversations in our homes in privacy. But when you are doing it in front of the world, man, you gotta check your facts. You gotta know what the fuck you talking about, or else people gonna be looking at you a certain way. It's gonna go against your character, against your, credibility and entertainment. That ain't what you want. So yeah, man, 25 minutes. I got passionate about this one, but man, hey, I just had to say my piece on this, and hell, I guess the run over on time making up for me not dropping in a couple days. So y'all forgive me, man. Gringo Gang, we out this bitch. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about this topic. Do y'all think I'm right? Do y'all more agree with Mos Def? Honestly, I gotta say that if you disagree with me, Drake just not your type of artist. Just not your type of guy. He's just not a guy you listen to. And that's just the only explanation it can be, because if you listen to him, if you give him the opportunity and you play his music, nothing that Mos Def just said can be true. His work speaks for itself. So I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video, man. And it's Kobe season. Keep dropping. I'm out, DB.